Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the channel again. My name is Liz, and in today's video, I'm going to show you one of my favorite little thrift stores and see if we can find any treasures that we can flip for a profit. And I want to encourage you to stay until the end because there is a treasure I've never found before, and I might need your help with it, but I'm pretty sure it was well worth the trip. So please stay all the way to the end. Click the like and subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. I appreciate it very much. And stay tuned for the running of the bulls. So you might not be able to sense it yet because we're kind of bottlenecked here, but people start to move very quickly, and I actually have a solid competitor on my heels. So here's the running of the bulls. Now I try not to film other people at this store. It's a very intimate setting, and I do get very excited. So I know you're going to have a little jostling in your camera work, and I know that you're going to be forgiving about it because I'm still learning, and I'm a picker first and a YouTuber second, and I get so excited at this store because I always find the coolest stuff. And so sometimes I have a little trouble slowing down so you can look, because I almost have like, I call it I'm bird dogging, kind of like Mike Wolf from American Pickers. Like my head like spins around almost all the way. So bear with me. You'll see that I'm practicing in further sections. So this is my favorite area of this shop, and I did find one of the best finds around the corner here, this dark abyss of a corner, but it was so heavy that I had to put my camera down to move it, to hand it to the women. It's an interesting system they have here where they give you a receipt, you go pay for it, you come back and get your stuff. So I did find it in this corner. They always have cute things. This is where the Lisa Larson bird was. Stayed to the end so you can see what we pulled out of the abyss as we were, diving into this thrifting experience. So here's a little Capodimonte piece. It really caught my eye, and I do pick this up. It was $4. So cute. Now, at the haul, you'll see some of the things that I am successful at capturing and some of the things I'm not. So let's see what else we found over here. So I scurried over to housewares, and there weren't really any framed pieces I liked, but I took a quick look, and you can see I'm doing much better with my camera work here. I did hear that someone found a really cool ice bucket over here that was worth a bit of money. Like a novelty piece. I didn't see it, but someone told me that someone did find something cool. But you can't be in both places at once. So as pickers, we have to pick our items and pick where we're going to start. And I always start in that corner where all the bulls stampede to. So sometimes I do pick up things for the family or friends. And this looked like a really fun thing to pack a healthy lunch in for $2. So I grabbed that and put it in my basket. And I do find things over here. I actually really like single mugs. I'm one of the only pickers who does. And you'll see me take a look at some of the mugs over here. And I do grab a couple, one of which is actually relatively lucrative, along with this Tupperware piece. So I grabbed that. We had those shakers when I was a kid, actually. So this one is worth quite a bit. I'll tell you how much it's worth at the end. And she actually charged me 50 cents for each of the mugs. I don't know if they were half off. There were some clothing items that were half off. I don't know if mugs were too. I try not to bottleneck the whole stampede by looking at the sign to see what's half off. It's a very narrow entrance. I just figure if I like something, their prices are so good here, I'm going to like it whether it's half off or not. And so I grabbed this friend's mug. See, I slowed down a little bit over here. It was the initial rush that made my camera work really bad. Now, there was a woman shopping near me, and it was making it difficult for me to turn all the way. I thought that was Otajiri, but I don't actually think it was. I think it was more modern. I wasn't able to shop the section to my left because there was a woman right in my personal space, but I did look through it, and rest assured, we didn't miss anything. So I do try to be respectful when it's very close quarters, especially. So I looked through the clothing kind of quickly on this particular day. The clothing section gets a little busy. Sometimes I don't have the patience to go through it all, I confess. Even though some of my favorite YouTubers do. I mean, Lavender Clothesline and Hustle at Home Mom. They have such good luck, and I love watching their videos. I found a couple of things. This leather jacket looked really cool. I think it was vintage. It was $20, which actually wasn't that bad for what I think might have been an 80s or a 90s piece, but it had this damage that I don't think could have been repaired, so I did not pick that up. This surprised me. It caught my eye, and then I saw it was Harley Davidson. So I was thinking that this didn't make it to the footage, but there it is. I did find that for $5. I'll tell you what that's worth later. And I did find a couple of items for the family, and then one other item I'll show you in the haul at the end that had some good value. But I was intermittent with my filming because it was a little bit tricky for me to film and shop. I've got to build up my stamina so I can show you guys more of the perusing. They do have some really cute things at this shop, and I find things for us as well as for resale. So I went back to the costume jewelry when things quieted down, and I bought a couple little pieces. I do think maybe one of the pieces is sterling. The camera work, when I show you this ring in a moment, isn't great because I was a little excited that there might have been a sterling ring in with the costume for $5. But I picked up a couple of pieces, one for a friend, one for me, and 2 for resale. And you know, costume jewelry can have a lot of value, so I do try to look for makers and marks. I don't want to miss something because I'm thinking that costume has no value. And so I'm taking a look at all these pieces that look like crements to me. I do have a lot of those pieces. I didn't see the mark, but I will say crements marks are very small. And I took a quick look at the necklaces, but there was a woman, I believe, shopping to my right. I was trying to keep her out of the shot. That was not sterling, and I've bought lucite pieces with sterling, and that was plastic. Maybe I made a mistake. Let me know if you think I should have picked up that pendant. So I'll show you the ring. Again, the footage isn't great because I got a little excited trying to see the mark, and you will catch a glimpse of it. Stay tuned for the haul. Okay guys, it's time for the haul on the running of the bulls this week. So you might not be able to tell from the footage, but it gets a little bouncy in there, and that's because you feel like you're being stampeded by bulls because the other customers almost run towards the area that has sort of like the most valuable items. So I'm gonna run you through real quick if I can. I'm just gonna go left to right and show you what I found. So I did pick a couple of costume jewelry pieces, including a ring, which I actually loaned to a friend of mine, which I think might be sterling, but that was a $5 ring that was sterling. I got a couple of costume pieces. This is for a friend who collects armadillos, so not a big money maker. Super cute though. This is for me, because I love birds. Look at that little enamel bird. And then these scarab bracelets are very sentimental and nostalgic for a lot of people, and they sell even on Marketplace for me for 15 to 20 sometimes, not even gold filled. So it might be a little bit more on Etsy. I don't know. I don't usually ship relatively inexpensive things through Etsy just because the fees and everything just add up too fast. So I did pick up those. I got this Capodimonte ceramic cherry basket. I often do not pick up items like this, but this one was in great condition and beautifully done. Look at the little stems. And so I did pick it up for $4, and that's about a $35 to $50 item on Etsy. I got 2 mugs. We've got the Friends mug for the Gen Xers and a lot of the kids of today. And by kids, I mean up to college age. And then one of these Starbucks mugs, which I did comp out. The Friends mug is probably only a $10 item, but I can put it in my booth, and for 50 cents, I didn't mind. And this Starbucks mug is more like a $30 mug. And so I picked those 2 things up. The little lunchbox is probably for us to use. They're usually about 18 bucks, and this one was $2. It might have even been cheaper than that. I got one of these Tupperware shakers. These can go for quite a bit of money, but it doesn't have the S or the P. Do you guys know if they ever made them without the S or the P? Can you leave me a comment? I just looked some up, and there was a pair for like $60. Now, I thought they were more like 20 or 30. I paid $1 for that one. You didn't get to see, I don't think you got to see much of the clothing at all that I picked up because I was going through the racks and I wasn't finding anything, and I gave up and I put my phone away. I was using my phone in there to kind of keep it on the DL. And then I found some stuff. I got a couple items for the family, which we won't go over, but you know, Star Wars cool, soft hoodie. Who doesn't like that? This actually is Harley Davidson. It said that it was vintage when I found one like this. I'm not sure if it was or not. It was $5. The one I found online that claimed to be vintage was for sale for $75. So I didn't look up sold comps. I just did a real quick preliminary kind of research on that one. But still, if it's anywhere close to $75, that's awesome. These REI convertible pants sell new. You know, they zip off into shorts for $55 to like $80. So they were going to be $7, but they were half price, so they were $3.50. So I feel like they'll sell in my clothing booth and make me a cozy little profit, as my friend Tim likes to say. But the most interesting piece I found this week was this diving helmet. Now, initially I thought maybe it was a decorative piece, but it has a lot of, I don't know, what would you call this? Like attachments that don't really look like something you'd have for a decorative piece, although it's relatively small, so I'm not sure. When I used Google Lens on it to try to firm things up a bit, it said it was a Japanese diving helmet. So if you guys know anything about this stuff or can give me any tips on where to look, or if you see something that tells you right away, no, it's just decorative for sure. It's really heavy too. Like, I feel like if you were gonna make, you know, a decorative diving helmet and sell it on Amazon for $30, it wouldn't be so heavy. But anyway, it's got a nice patina on the top. I'm not 100% sure if those were always together or not, or maybe someone cleaned the base here. But anyway, I think it's awesome. I paid $19 for it. And even if it is relatively decorative, I do believe it is at least somewhat vintage and probably worth at least $100. But if it's an authentic diving helmet, then it's probably worth several hundred. I mean, it could be up to like $700 or $800 based on what I looked at in my initial research. So that wraps up the running of the bulls for the week. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you're liking what you're learning, what you're seeing, please click the like button. Please leave me a comment. And I'd love for you guys to subscribe so you'll get notifications when I have new videos. I'm trying as hard as I can to make sure I get a couple of videos out to you a week, which is exciting and fun and time consuming, but it's worth it. I'm loving all your comments. And make sure that you get to go out and appreciate the shopping experience for yourself. You know, go out and have fun. Make sure you pay yourself for your time while you're out there and never stop searching. I'll catch you guys next time.